Welcome to the Jim of All Trades channel. I'm Jim. Welcome to the program. Glad you're with me. We're going to give you just a very quick update today on Bitcoin and Litecoin, and tell you two scenarios, and I want you to just be prepared for them. Just don't forget, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm here to share how I spend my money, but not yours. So just keep that in mind. Let's look at the market. We're going to just make this a very quick video. First off, Bitcoin. We're looking at the 4-hour chart here, and let me just tell you some things that I see. Number one, we have this resistance point right here, this structure line, in which I've carried it over here. It's right at about $8,500. This is actually my line that I have there is 82.73. I have that there because there's several touches here. If I take it up to the peak, we're right at 8,500 or 85.53. Our price did not quite make it up to there. Didn't quite make it up to 8,200 yesterday. Just shy of it, about 81.75 in that range. And so we are just shy of resistance. So that's strike number one of Bitcoin. It's starting to look like it's ready to correct. Number two, just looking at this wave, it is parabolic. Okay, I want to remind you, parabolic waves. Whenever waves get parabolic, okay, and that's when they make this curve, okay, when they make a parabola on the whole wave. Whenever you see this parabolic wave, you need to look for a very steep correction to follow it, okay? Let me just remind you of the last parabolic wave that we had. It's right here. Do you see it? Yeah, right there, buddy. We had this nice curve, and it just goes, and it ends up going straight up, right? And so there's this basically this structure of the waves here, where you've got ends up with 1, 2, 3, 4, a fifth wave, 5 waves going up, and so this is looking awful finished. This was finished, obviously, but this, as I look at where we are today, man, it's just looking so similar to that price structure already. Okay, so that's strike number two. What we're looking at here. Let me see if I can just get this bigger. There we go. Let's see, what else are we looking at? Wave structure. Again, the wave structure is looking finished. Let me get the fibs off the chart there. There we go, so you can see it a little bit better. I've got a big one wave followed by two. This whole thing was 3, 4, and this is a fifth push up. Looks like 5 waves are completed. Now, if we dig in here to the 5th wave, let me go into the 1-hour time frame, and I'm just looking at it. Let me just show you what I'm seeing. Let me get it like this. First of all, you can really see you got the 1, 2, you got a 3, 4, and then this is a 5th wave. And so the question is this 5th wave done? So that's, I mean, right now, just looking at it, it looks fairly finished. So if we dig into that 5th wave, do we see 5 finished waves? Well, we've got, let me just mark them for you on the chart here very quickly. 1, 1, 2. Now the 3rd wave is going to have 5 waves, so we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th. This is looking pretty finished, guys. There you go. I mean, it looks finished. So that's another thing. So I just want you to be aware of that. That we may not be pushing higher at all. What's happening now, most likely with price action, it's a kind of an ominous price action. When I look at the order book in Coinbase, there's just a lot of back and forth and what I believe is happening is that you have basically the market makers are selling right now. They're systematically selling. They are pushing with buy orders. They're pushing people into their prices, and so I think there's a systematic sell-off right now. There may be, as far as a market maker play, there may be one more stop hunt to the high, or a push to the high to entice buyers to finish buying their sells, and then they're just going to sell into those buys. And so that's kind of what I might be seeing. I don't know this for certain, but it just feels ready. It feels very ready to correct, and so I just want to give you that warning. You do see the on the 4-hour chart, in particular, on the 4-hour chart, you see the divergence. There is divergence here on the 1-hour chart. Let me show you here. So this RSI matches up with this peak while we extending up, and you can see how the strength is moving down there. If we go to the 4-hour chart, you can really see it very well. Um, so yeah, I had to move it because I had it drawn from the 4-hour. There you go. So you can see how from this peak to this peak, price has gone up while strength is moving to the downside. So we do have divergence, and the last peak was at 90. It was pretty high divergence as well. So we can see that this divergence, that we had before, they continued it on up. So we had the divergence from here to here, and they pushed through it. They wiped the divergence out. I mean, that can happen. We understand that, but what we also need to be aware of here is we have just a nice trend line here. On the 4-hour, what we may do is just kind of go sideways for a little bit until finally we fall off, and so that is a potential scenario as well. This may be some kind of a triangle right here that's going to be formed here. They're going to do basically the way they're going to sell this off is just like just back and forth all up in here for a little while. They're going to Bart Simpson top it or something like that, and then basically that's just going to make this kind of oscillate in here, and then finally that's just going to fall off in the RSI. So I see a potential for our top to be in. We came short of the 8,500, and that would be breaking it would be more bullish, while coming short of it would be more bearish. Again, I've been looking for this correction for a while. I think it's coming. So yeah. So what are some price targets there? Again, remember, just quickly without throwing any fibs or anything on there, we're looking at structure. The first structure point we come to is going to be right here, about 5,500. Okay. The second price structure we're looking at is going to be at 5,000. So we really don't have any support, really. I mean, you do have something here at 68, but it's just very, very small. You can count the top of that as possible support as well. There might be a pullback to 75. If there's one more push higher, it might pull back to there and then push higher. But I'm just not seeing it, y'all. I'm just not seeing it. But again, Bitcoin can surprise us. It's not Bitcoin so much; it's the market makers and what they're planning on doing with it. So we have to understand that. So yeah, we're looking down to a correction to 5,000 at least at the, I would say, and then could be 4,800, and then the bottom of the correction that I would see at the very lowest would be $4,200. Okay, all right, that's Bitcoin. Litecoin's doing the same thing. I'm gonna just show you the big picture here. Triangles everywhere, guys. Triangles everywhere. You learn how to trade triangles, you can have good trades here. Just saying. You see the breakout and the retest. This is your entry point, and then you sell. It broke out. It retested. Here's your entry point. Nice trade. There are triangles all over. Litecoin, and so if you learn how to trade triangles, you're really in good shape. I want you to notice that this is the high that we had back in April of $100. Okay, I want you to look at this structure here. I want you to see what it looks like. Okay, and I want you to pay attention to this right here. What are you noticing? What does it look like? They look very, very similar. Okay, but this is a lower high. That means this didn't make it up as high as that. This whole thing could be a one wave. Okay, or an A wave, which is still in play, and I've been saying that for a while. This whole thing could be just a big A wave, and this is a B wave. We're going to be followed by a very large C correction. Now, if that's the case, let me just give you a price projection for that. If that's a big C wave, price projection is going to be, drum roll, da, 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 right there to the top. 1276 here, which meets right here at the structure point right there. That would be a pretty good target right there of $52. My line is not working. There we go. You can see we have a top and we have a touch here. That's a pretty good, $52 is probably going to be a pretty good target there for correction. Could go lower to the top here. could go down here, however unlikely, but it could to $41. Okay, so be prepared for those scenarios as well. Um, yeah, I don't see it going higher. Let me tell you one more reason why I don't see it. I mean, my bias is it's not going higher, but it could. Yesterday I was thinking it could because of the price action, but it just stopped short. Everything fell short. It didn't follow through. So I want you to just notice the fib extension right here with Litecoin. It goes up for A, and this is a B wave here. Notice it stops at the 1276. That's corrective. That is a corrective landing point. So understand that as well. All right, that's Bitcoin and Litecoin. That's what I'm looking at today. That's what I'm going to be watching. I have exited my position just because I don't like the environment. I am even if it pushes up a little bit more, I don't like the environment at all. Unless I see something that changes my mind, I am out until we start correcting. All right, I hope that guys, I hope that helps you, and you guys stay safe in this environment. It's a very tricky place to be trading. Be careful. Have a great day.